Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by and a very warm welcome to my channel. So if you're watching me for the very first time and then I try to make content regarding on the topic of burnout, especially for the people who are over the age of 40, but the topics are equally applicable to slightly younger age groups, from 30 to 35 or even slightly older age groups also. So if you are interested in watching such content, kindly subscribe to the channel and share the videos with another friend or anybody whom you think may need this video. So in today's video, I want to discuss about a problem which is not very commonly talked about, although it's not something new. You may or may not have heard about it or seen this happening around you or on the online space. I'm talking about the addiction of a problem. Like if you ever encountered a problem, so depending on the intensity, it is very natural to feel feel like an emotional setback or feel the loss. However, the next logical step should be to find a solution or find someone, find a person, a service, or whatever to come out of that problem. But sometimes, especially during the bad phases of life, um, people are not able to come out of the problems very easily. And in during that phase, what really happens is, many people like they give up internally, even if externally they may not show. They may look like very healthy and very normal from outside, but internally they may have given up. And what really that means is somehow they they have accepted the status quo, or even in worse cases they have accepted, or they are like addicted to that state of being, which is, I feel, is quite harmful. And it's not that, uh, only like certain kind of people can display this behavior. I think every human being who is living on this planet has this tendency, in different ratios, different percentages. It all depends on the circumstances or the time or the stage of your life when it happens. So, if you are also a person of Indian origin, either you live in India or you live abroad like me, so especially if you are from the north of India and you have grown up watching Hindi movies, there are like countless examples of like countless movies have been made on the topic where the main character or the hero or the protagonist, whatever you want to call them, they have been shown to like wallow in their sorrows, or like get completely submerged in their sorrows. Even so there are like some good movies. I think the recent example I can think of was Kabir Singh, where Shahid Kapoor played the main part. So those of you who have watched that movie, you would know that how when he gets separated from his lover, how he gets into depression, and he almost like goes mad. So his entire behavior, his look, etc., gets changed, and he was shown as like an orthopedic surgeon, like someone who's like highly educated or highly skilled person. So even that person can fall in this problem. So I just the purpose of making this video is, when we say, like, keep talking about a problem without ever looking for a solution, we are essentially dragging the problem. And I know that even I am also guilty of this sometimes. If there has been like a problem, rather than finding a solution or working to find towards a solution, I would have, talked about the problem in such great length that eventually it literally like expanded the problem, or expanded the span of the problem. So if you are also making that mistake, my like humble suggestion would be, like, don't be a Kabir Singh, because that was a movie. The actor got paid handsomely to play that role. Once the movie was over, he went on to play another role. But if you are doing that in the only movie where you are starring, like in the movie of your life, so you're not going to play another role from next week or next month. Things change, but they change gradually. So right now, if you're stuck and if you're watching this video, um, make sure that you do not elongate that problem. If you have that problem, yes, crying will definitely help, and there will be a phase where you will be like totally knocked out, totally down and out. So I'm not talking about that initial phase of, it can span from a few weeks to maybe 1 or 2 years also. It depends on what exactly caused you that problem. If you also like got separated from your like long time lover, just like Kabir Singh in that movie. So maybe yes, your setback is quite big, or if there was another thing like you lost a very good job, good and a prestigious job, or maybe you had something else like a defamation or anything, or maybe you lost someone, like someone passed away, then that's a different story. But if it's like any other worldly thing which you think can be fixed, but because now you're exhausted and somehow internally you are addicted to that problem, then you definitely should try hard to come out of it. The first obvious thing is to, like, go and consult a therapist, a counselor, or a doctor, whoever. If you don't have any, yeah, like a family or a friend who can understand this problem. And beyond the point, I think it's not their job. It's a job of a professional to help you. For that, obviously, you will have to take some extra efforts. You will have to spend money, because therapy is not inexpensive. It's not cheap. So, but a few thousand rupees or a few $100 spent are much better than, always being in that zone of darkness, sadness, or brooding. There's just one thing which which I want to add from my side. Sometimes, um, like any problem, needs to be like starved. So if you are like accidentally or by choice feeding that problem by, by being in the environment which triggers you, or by always looking out for similar kind of stories from other people, like if you had a breakup and now you're looking for similar stories of your friends or people online, so you're only extending the problem. Unless your intention is to come out of it, that's a different thing. But if you're just looking for a shoulder, or a community of people who are also going through the same sorrow or same grief, then I think it's a losing battle. So you must not indulge in that. And yeah, I was just saying that, to like to solve a problem, especially these psychological or mental problems, you have to starve the problem. So that's why people tend to do some fasting, a fasting protocol. Although in India, fasting is done primarily for religious purposes. But if you were to do it for, for health benefits or mental health benefits, that can certainly help you to, keep or create some distance from your problem. Obviously, if you have any health issues, please consult your medical doctor if you are fit for like fasting, because depending on your health conditions, the doctor may or may not suggest to do that. So in that case, you have to look for some alternatives. The second best alternative, or I think it should not be called an alternative, but it's like a must thing, is like having trying to have good quality sleep. I totally understand that when you are deep into the problem, your sleep will also be affected. But as and when, even if you are able to afford, say, 1 or 2 nights of good sleep, whether it's a weekend or if you are like taking a day off from your work just to sleep, that's even better than doing um, n number of mindless things, or calling one friend after the other, or calling people who are ready to listen to your sob story, and eventually at the end of that call, there won't be any solution. You would just feel light for like a few minutes, and that that pain will eventually return. So it's best that you invest in some some good sleeping. Even if it's like daytime sleeping, your mood will definitely get better. And for medical help, always consult a doctor. Don't waste time to try out things at home, especially after the initial phase, because if you have seen that things are not working out in your favor, don't get addicted to the problem. Try to get out of it. So just want to end this video because I think it's getting repetitive now. If you have watched it till here, thank you so much, and kindly like, share, subscribe, all those things if you want to. Thanks and take care. Bye bye.